Hi everyone, I am JCRP and you're watching Media Melon. You see this empty room? It's been like this for the past 6 months. Total waste of space. So I have decided to move some of my machines to this room. What is the most required to run the machines? Power. But there are no power sockets at all. Every place I have moved has this problem. I am sure many of you also have such problems, and so I decided to make this video. Hopefully you will learn some new info that you can use at your home. Stay tuned. First, I would like to explain some frequently asked questions here. I am going to draw power from this socket. Now people may say that it's a 6 amp socket and it cannot support so many appliances. But let's think about it for a second. The wiring is done inside this room which runs across those walls. Wherever the socket is required, the electrician would usually splice the wire and connect another wire that would be run to the required socket. Yes, from the mains there will be multiple wires pulled, some for 10 amps and some for 20 amps. The 20 amp ones are used for geysers, mixie, fridge and other heavy power consuming appliances. And these wires are fed into different rooms and different amps are chosen based on the requirement. So in essence, if you were to understand it right, connecting a socket here and extending the connection is as similar to connecting the wire inside and extending the wire. I'm just using the socket here because I cannot afford to dig holes, run conduits because this is not my place. So I chose up to wire the place in this fashion. I hope all this makes sense. In case it doesn't, please do watch the video again. These are called as putty pipes in India. These are usually used to run the wires outside the wall. This red roll is a double-sided tape. You can ask for LED tape in the market. It's super thin but very strong. But it's costly, so I stuck them only on the corners of this putty. The putty has a top cover and a bottom side. The double-sided tape has to be glued to the bottom side, obviously. The putty is made of two semi-rectangles clipped together. To open it, wedge in a sharp knife and twist it. Make sure to keep your hand far away at a safe distance. Then by pulling it apart, it can be separated. Some people prefer running these putties on the higher side or near the roof of the walls, but I prefer at the bottom because it hides usually behind tables and it's easy to access. Unless you don't have kids or you are not in the ground floor, you can run wires at the bottom of the wall. As I'm going to use this socket, the wire would come from here and go inside this putty, and this putty is too tall. A putty is just a heat resistant plastic, so it can be easily cut with a handsaw. Just mark where you want and start cutting. These are 6 extension boxes in total that I have made, which needs to be wired. To see how you can make your own extension boxes, please watch this other detailed video that I made. You can click on the top right corner or check in the description. These extension boxes come in various sizes. I used this 3 socket and 3 switch box. Some wooden and metal options are also available, but these plastic ones are very light, and because I'm using double-sided tape to glue it, it would be wise to use a lighter box. A small hole has to be made in the box to let in the wires. You can use a cutter too to make the hole. Ideally, these socket boxes should be screwed into the wall. That is the best practice. If you're living in your home or if you think your wall has bad paint work, then please drill these boxes in. I just used a level and stuck it to the wall because mine was good. These are the 3 kinds of wires that I'm using. The red obviously for the face, the black for the neutral and the green for the ground. The black and the red are 2.5 mm and the ground is 1.5 mm, which is normally the case. The ground is usually used when some short circuit or anything happens, it gets diverted to the ground and it obviously goes to the ground. So a 1.5 would be enough for that. So make sure that you always use 2.5. Whenever I work, I am very excited, and in that excitement I forgot to show you something. Let me go ahead and show you that right now. I want to let you know about the wiring. The wire starts from there, runs all this way through the entire room in this direction and then comes and ends here. But initially I started my wiring from this point. This is required because I was able to measure the entire length across the whole room and then cut my wire over here. Then I can start wiring the sockets from this point. So first I finish this and then this followed by the other ones. It's a simple step, but I thought you should know so that it will help you ease up your process. Now I have to connect these extension boxes to the main wires. To do that, I have these short pieces of red, black and green wire cut. According to the extension box video I made earlier, I connect these wires to one end. The face goes to the switch, the black to the neutral and the green to the ground. Once these are connected, I can run the wires through and close the box. These boxes come with screw provided, so I use that. Now I have to make a slot in the putty to make an outlet for the wires. This can be simply made using a cutter. The copper wires are exposed. This wire stripper is cool because it lets me expose the copper wire even in the middle section. So I take advantage of that and can wrap around the other wire from the extension box to the main wire line like this. Make sure that every connection is isolated using the insulation tape. I followed this method for all the wires separately, making sure to isolate them properly. Now the wires can be dropped inside the putty and closed. A gentle tap and a clicking sound ensures that the putty is closed tight. For corners, I use this flexible pipe. Simply measure, cut and run the wires inside it. Because it's a shop, it's okay if it was ugly, but at home the electricians cut the putty to match the wall cuts and then stick them or screw them to the walls. Now it's a matter of following the same process as before and connecting all the extension boxes. And wherever there are no extension boxes required, I just tucked in the wire inside the putty and closed it. Even for the small corners, the flexible pipe helped. This is a 6 amp plug from Anchor to fit inside the 6 amp socket. The good brand plugs always have some markings of line, neutral and ground on it. Just see where they are and connect their respective wires. I have detailed on how to connect this on the extension box video. Do check it out. Always in my video, please do check the description. I add some other useful videos or links to products used. Here is the run through the entire connection that I have made. While testing, we can see it's a valid connection if you get this light only when testing on one hole of the socket. That's the line phase. The neutral should not light up. If it does, then you have to check your connections. In my case, the connections are proper. So the connection is almost done. I have plugged in the wire here and when I switch on, everything works perfectly fine. There's one problem. This is a place where many people come and go, and what if somebody switches it off and the machine is running, which means I have to bypass the switch and connect the socket directly to the mains, which means I have to switch off the mains here. Now I can go back to work. When I looked inside, I could see this wire face connecting all the switches together. The other end of the switch is connected to the socket. So I have to remove this red wire and directly connect it to the socket. But when I tried to do so, I realized that it is not long enough. So I connect the blue wire back to the socket and then directly connect the red wire to the blue wire. So a direct connection is made, which makes the switch useless. But if you notice, all these wires are just 1.5 mm, and this is able to run the lights and fan in this room. Yes, electricity is dangerous. Everything is. But if you're careful, then you can do it. It just took one afternoon for me to get this done. Remember to stay cautious though. While I was wiring one of the socket boxes, I was also talking to a friend and suddenly I realized that I gave some wrong connections. Luckily, I realized it while I was doing it, so it wasn't too late. Learn from my mistake and concentrate on your work while you're doing it. Other than that, there is nothing to be scared of. If you learn the skill, then it would help you in your day-to-day life a lot. If you want to yell and tell me that I am no electrician, then please do in the comments. But if you are one of those few people who actually enjoy the video, then please give it a like and share with your folks. Follow this channel for more such videos. Until next time, happy learning.